Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Provide with choice or abundant food or drink. Don't worry about the expensive wine, I'm treating. Provide treatment for. The doctor treated my broken leg. Something considered choice to eat. Interact in a certain way. Act on verbally or in some form of artistic expression. The new book treats the history of China. Subject to a process or treatment, with the aim of readying for some purpose, improving, or remedying a condition. Treat the water so it can be drunk. An occurrence that causes special pleasure or delight. Engage in negotiations in order to reach an agreement. They had to treat with the king. Provide with a gift or entertainment. Grandmother always treated us to the circus. Regard or consider in a specific way. I treated his advances as a joke. Provide with choice or abundant food or drink. Provide treatment for. Be fond of, be attached to. Have a liking, fondness, or taste for. Delicately beautiful. A dainty teacup. Something considered choice to eat. Excessively fastidious and easily disgusted. Especially pleasing to the taste. A dainty dish to set before a kind. Lack of physical strength. Lightness in movement or manner. Refined taste, tact. Something considered choice to eat. The quality of being beautiful and delicate in appearance. Smallness of stature. Subtly skillful handling of a situation. Something considered choice to eat. Something considered choice to eat. Interact in a certain way. Touch, lift, or hold with the hands. Don't handle the merchandise. Handle effectively. The appendage to an object that is designed to be held in order to use or move it. He grabbed the hammer by the handle. Interact in a certain way. Act on verbally or in some form of artistic expression. Be in charge of, act on, or dispose of. This blender can't handle nuts. Show and train. The prize-winning poodle was handled by Mrs. Priscilla Prescott. Put an address on an envelope. Social skill. Give a speech to. The chairman addressed the board of trustees. Written directions for finding some location, written on letters or packages that are to be delivered to that location. Speak to someone. Computer science. The code that identifies where a piece of information is stored. Speak to. He addressed the crowd outside the window. The act of delivering a formal spoken communication to an audience. He listened to an address on minor Roman poets. Greet, as with a prescribed form, title, or name. He always addresses me with, sir. Act on verbally or in some form of artistic expression. Access or locate by address. Address or apply oneself to something, direct one's efforts towards something, such as a question. Adjust and aim, a golf ball, at in preparation of hitting. A sign in front of a house or business carrying the conventional form by which its location is described. Direct a question at someone. The manner of speaking to another individual. He failed in his manner of address to the captain. The place where a person or organization can be found or communicated with. The stance assumed by a golfer in preparation for hitting a golf ball. A recording of a song that was first recorded or made popular by somebody else. They made a cover of a Beatles song. Form a cover over. The grass covered the grave. Clothe, as if for protection from the elements. Cover your head. A fixed charge by a restaurant or nightclub over and above the charge for food and drink. The act of concealing the existence of something by obstructing the view of it. The cover concealed their guns from enemy aircraft. Travel across or pass over. The caravan covered almost 100 miles each day. Span an interval of distance, space or time. The period covered the turn of the century. A covering that serves to conceal or shelter something. Under cover of darkness. Include in scope. Include as part of something broader. Have as one sphere or territory. This should cover everyone in the group. Fire that makes it difficult for the enemy to fire on your own individuals or formations. Artillery provided covering fire for the withdrawal. Put something on top of something else. Cover the meat with a lot of gravy. A natural object that covers or envelops. Under a covering of dust. The protective covering on the front, back, and spine of a book. Make up for shortcomings or a feeling of inferiority by exaggerating good qualities. Bedding that keeps a person warm in bed. He pulled the covers over his head and went to sleep. Hide from view or knowledge. The president covered the fact that he bugged the offices in the White House. Be responsible for reporting the details of, as in journalism. The cub reporter covered New York City. Covering for a hole, especially a hole in the top of a container. Put the cover back on the kettle. Act on verbally or in some form of artistic expression. The course covered all of Western civilization. Sit on, eggs. The female covers the eggs. Protect by insurance. The insurance won't cover this. Cover as if with a shroud. Copulate with a female, used especially of horses. The horse covers the mare. A false identity and background, especially one created for an undercover agent. Her new name and passport or cover for her next assignment. Be responsible for guarding an opponent in a game. Be sufficient to meet, defray, or offset the charge or cost of. Is this enough to cover the check? Help out by taking someone's place and temporarily assuming his responsibilities. She is covering for our secretary who is ill this week. Hold within range of an aimed firearm. Invest with a large or excessive amount of something. She covered herself with glory. Maintain a check on, especially by patrolling. The second officer covered the top floor. Play a higher card than the one previously played. Smith covered again. Protect or defend, a position in a game. He covered left field. Provide for. The grant doesn't cover my salary. Provide with a covering or cause to be covered. Cover her face with a handkerchief. Spread over a surface to conceal or protect. This paint covers well. To take an action to protect against future problems. Count the cash in the drawer twice just to cover yourself. An agreement between parties, usually arrived at after discussion, fixing obligations of each. He rose to prominence through a series of shady deals. Wood that is easy to saw, from conifers such as pine or fir. Take into consideration for exemplifying purposes. Succeed in doing, achieving, or producing something, with the limited or inadequate means available. Often followed by, of, a large number or amount or extent. A deal of trouble. Direct the course of, manage or control. A particular instance of buying or selling. It was a package deal. Give out as one's portion or share. Act on verbally or in some form of artistic expression. This book deals with incest. Do business. Offer for sale as for one's livelihood. She deals in gold. Administer or bestow, as in small portions. Deal a blow to someone. The cards held in a card game by a given player at any given time. Be in charge of, act on, or dispose of. I can deal with this crew of workers. A plank of softwood, fir or pine board. Behave in a certain way towards others. He deals fairly with his employees. Distribute cards to the players in a game. Who's dealing? Give, a specific card, to a player. He dealt me the queen of spades. Sell. Deal hashish. Take action with respect to someone or something. How are we going to deal with this problem? The act of apportioning or distributing something. The captain was entrusted with the deal of provisions. The act of distributing playing cards. The deal was passed around the table clockwise. The type of treatment received, especially as the result of an agreement. He got a good deal on his car. To break and turn over earth, especially with a plow. Farmer Jones plowed his east field last week. A farm tool having one or more heavy blades to break the soil and cut a furrow prior to sowing. Act on verbally or in some form of artistic expression. Move in a way resembling that of a plow cutting into or going through the soil. The ship plowed through the water. A natural prolongation or projection from a part of an organism, either animal or plant. A bony process. A writ issued by authority of law. Usually compels the defendant's attendance in a civil suit. Failure to appear results in a default judgment against the defendant. Shape, form, or improve a material. Process iron. Deliver a warrant or summons to someone. He was processed by the sheriff. A sustained phenomenon or one marked by gradual changes through a series of states. Events now in process. Institute legal proceedings against. File a suit against. He was warned that the district attorney would process him. March in a procession. They processed into the dining room. A particular course of action intended to achieve a result. It was a process of trial and error. Psychology. The performance of some composite cognitive activity. An operation that affects mental contents. The process of thinking. A mental process that you are not directly aware of. The process of denial. Subject to a process or treatment, with the aim of readying for some purpose, improving, or remedying a condition. Process cheese. Deal with in a routine way. Process alone. Perform mathematical and logical operations on data, according to programmed instructions in order to obtain the required information. The results of the elections were still being processed when he gave his acceptance speech. Give something useful or necessary to. We provided the room with an electrical heater. Supply means of subsistence. Earn a living. He provides for his large family by working 3 jobs. Mount or put up. Give what is desired or needed, especially support, food or sustenance. The hostess provided lunch for all the guests. Make a possibility or provide opportunity for, permit to be attainable or cause to remain. This procedure provides for lots of leeway. Determine what is to happen in certain contingencies, especially by including a proviso condition or stipulation. The will provides that each child should receive half of the money. Take measures in preparation for. Provide for the proper care of the passengers on the cruise ship. Circulate or distribute or equip with. Supply blankets for the beds. Give something useful or necessary to. State or say further. Give what is desired or needed, especially support, food or sustenance. The activity of supplying or providing something. An amount of something available for use. Offering goods and services for sale. Travel a route regularly. Ships ply the waters near the coast. Give what is desired or needed, especially support, food or sustenance. Apply oneself diligently. Join together as by twisting, weaving, or molding. Ply fabric. One of the strands twisted together to make yarn or rope or thread, often used in combination. 3-ply cord. Use diligently. Ply your wits. Usually in combinations, one of several layers of cloth or paper or wood as in plywood. Wield vigorously. Ply an axe. Give what is desired or needed, especially support, food or sustenance. Supply food ready to eat, for parties and banquets. A source of materials to nourish the body. The act of nourishing. Her nourishment of the orphans saved many lives. Give nourishment to. A source of materials to nourish the body. The financial means whereby one lives. The act of sustaining life by food or providing a means of subsistence. They were in want of sustenance. A source of materials to nourish the body. A source of materials to nourish the body. A stock or supply of foods. Any substance that can be used as food. A source of materials to nourish the body. The act of supplying food and nourishment. A source of materials to nourish the body. Physiology. The organic process of nourishing or being nourished. The processes by which an organism assimilates food and uses it for growth and maintenance. The scientific study of food and drink, especially in humans. A source of materials to nourish the body. Act together or towards others or with others. He should interact more with his colleagues. Bring up a topic for discussion. A decorative pin worn by women. Someone new to a field or activity. Bring up a topic for discussion. Bring into being. He initiated a new program. People who have been introduced to the mysteries of some field or activity. It is very familiar to the initiate. Accept people into an exclusive society or group, usually with some right. African men are initiated when they reach puberty. Someone who has been admitted to membership in a scholarly field. Set in motion, start an event or prepare the way for. Take the lead or initiative in. Participate in the development of. Have an effect upon. Will the new rules affect me? Have an emotional or cognitive impact upon. Connect closely and often incriminatingly. This new ruling affects your business. Make believe with the intent to deceive. Act physically on. Have an effect upon. The medicine affects my heart rate. The conscious subjective aspect of feeling or emotion. A distinguishing style. This room needs a woman's touch. Make a more or less disguised reference to. Consume. She didn't touch her food all night. The event of something coming in contact with the body. He longed for the touch of her hand. Be relevant to. A suggestion of some quality. There was a touch of sarcasm in his tone. Have an effect upon. The act of putting two things together with no space between them. At his touch the room filled with lights. Be equal to in quality or ability. Your performance doesn't even touch that of your colleagues. A communicative interaction. He got in touch with his colleagues. A slight attack of illness. He has a touch of rheumatism. Affect emotionally. I was touched by your kind letter of sympathy. The faculty by which external objects or forces are perceived through contact with the body, especially the hands. Only sight and touch enable us to locate objects in the space around us. Tamper with. Don't touch my CDs. To extend as far as. The chair must not touch the wall. A slight but appreciable amount. This dish could use a touch of garlic. Be in direct physical contact with. Make contact. The two buildings touch. The sensation produced by pressure receptors in the skin. She likes the touch of silk on her skin. Color lightly. Cause to be in brief contact with. He touched his toes to the horse's flanks. Comprehend. He could not touch the meaning of the poem. Deal with. Usually used with a form of negation. I wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot pole. Deftness in handling matters. He has a master's touch. Make physical contact with, come in contact with. She never touched her husband. Perceive via the tactile sense. Helen Keller felt the physical world by touching people and objects around her. The act of soliciting money, as a gift or loan. He watched the beggar trying to make a touch. The feel of mechanical action. This piano has a wonderful touch. Restore by replacing a part or putting together what is torn or broken. Be relevant to. Have an effect upon. Refer to or discuss briefly.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.